Hey everybody, guess what? Today I'm making deer jerky. This is not the ground. The jerky gun's over there. I already did all that and most of it disappeared. So let me show you this. Alright, so when I'm making deer jerky, I don't have like a super secret family recipe or anything like that. A lot of the pre-mixed stuff is really good, and then the other thing, you don't have to worry about your ratio of cure to meat being off. Right here I've got 5 pounds mixed up. This has been marinating for a couple days in the fridge, and then we'll put it in here. I just made a batch. And it went about 5.5 hours. And oh yeah, that's good. Chewy, but yet you're not going to be chewing on it all day long. And that's the hickory, which my wife likes. I did use the Cabelas one on this one. This is what I used, and the only thing I changed, so it says to add a cup of water, and I put a little bit of apple cider vinegar in the bottom and 3 teaspoons of liquid smoke. Otherwise, I just basically used the actual kit. You know, no need to reinvent the wheel on this. And then once you get, once it's marinated, then basically you just got to put it on your racks. Try and get that to sit. Yeah, there we go. And then I use the wet hand, dry hand, so in case I need to grab something. And just spread it out. You want to leave a gap in between them. It works out to almost, well, a little over a pound per tray on this one. This happens to be a Lem dehydrator, and you need the ones with heat also, and I picked that one up at Runnings. But you can, you know, Farm Fleet, Cabelas, I'm sure Walmart has them. Just get these arranged here, and now yes, I try and get all the silver skin I can off, and always make sure you're cutting against the grain, so that way you're not chewing on it all day long. So one of the most important parts when making jerky is actually your cutting. And then if it's got too much connective tissue on it, then that'll be the stuff for your grinding. This arranged on here. Try and make sure that they're not touching. Big one. Alright, then when you've got a rack full, just grab it. another rack here. Another move that I also do that will help things is a little non-stick spray. Again, use the dry hand with that. And then basically, just the same process again. Get it leveled out. You know, you want them flat. And you know, you try and cut the pieces as uniform as you can. But you know, they're not all going to be exactly the same thickness. Especially, it depends how many hours you were cutting. Might get a little tired towards the end. Generally, you end up with more grind towards the end because you're just getting tired, wore out. We get these arranged. Now, and again, I think that, like I said, that was 2 days that I had this marinating. Obviously, the longer you let it marinate, you know, the more that taste is going to soak in. But you don't want to go too long that it goes bad on you. So 2 to 3 days is kind of what I aim for. It also depends, you know, when the weekend is coming up. So think about that if you've thrown it in to the or you've taken it out of the freezer, you know, to let it thaw. You know, backplan your days, so that way, you know, you have time to do this, and then you can get it to turn out for you. So there we go. Alright, it looks like I've got, I don't know, maybe 2 more trays left. So I'll finish doing that. We'll let it go, like I said, that 5.5 to 6 hours. You kind of have to test it a little bit. And we'll take a look at the finished product. Alright, so it took a little bit longer. I had been doing 5-pound batches, and those were taking right around 5 hours, a little bit over. For the solid ones, right at 5 for the ground, and then I used the jerky gun for that. This guy, or jerky pistol, or whatever it's called. And I figured it probably would take a little bit longer, but it's 7 hours that it took for the 10 pounds here. So we'll pull those off the racks here in a second. What I like to do, I like to put butcher paper down, just to keep everything clean. I do have the stainless table here, so that is nice. But adds a little bit more, and then you can wad it up and get rid of it. Easier to clean. There we go. Put that down. Open up the dehydrator here. Alright, so comes off the rack, or comes out of the dehydrator on the rack here. Perfect. See how it tastes. Excellent. That is good. Okay, so this is the Cabelas Sweet and Hot is what this is. So basically you just get them off the rack here. And notice how easy it comes off. I did use some nonstick spray. Comes off the rack, perfect. And then for these, I do just I take them in the house, get a sink full of soapy water. You know, a brush, if it's on here good, one of those cleaning brushes work pretty well. Or you can use your dish rag, that'll work too. Spray them off, let them dry down in the drying rack, and it's really that simple to clean them. Now for your jerky here, it's, you know, you can use a vacuum sealer, put it in the freezer and pull them out as you want to eat them. So far mine hasn't been lasting long enough for that. And if you read a lot of, you know, of the advice or whatever, it says don't put them in a plastic bag. But honestly, I've been using the little Ziploc bags and just throwing it in the fridge because it's not lasting very long. So, so it must be pretty tasty. And yeah, so that's how I make beef jerky, or deer jerky. You could do it with beef too. I mean, it'd be the same process. But this is actual deer. And yeah, turns out great. It's tasty. I mean, our deer eat the same thing our cows do. They're eating corn and alfalfa and stuff all year. So, I mean, they taste almost like the cows. But yeah, really good stuff. This, of course, is made for personal consumption. And by personal, I mean, yeah, the kids are eating it all up, mostly. So this is not, you know, certified to sell or anything like that. This is just home personal jerky. So tasty, kind of fun to do a little bit. One of the big things though that you need to do is cut it the right direction so you can see that's against the grain. One of the biggest things about making jerky is the process, how you're processing it. So that's why some of it ends up as full muscle jerky and some of it ends up as ground. Because if you can't get a good cut on it, or you know you've got too much of that silver skin, then you're going to want to use that as your ground. And then you can make, like I said, with the jerky pistol, or you can make sticks, or you know, things like that. So sticks, sausage, brats, whatever, really. But there we go. We made some deer jerky, and we'll enjoy eating it. As always, if you haven't subscribed, by all means do so. And thanks for watching. And take care.